Hey everybody, it's your girl Margaret, and I am back with a little, I don't know what to call this, maybe a story time. So, I have been lately realizing a lot of people dealing with relationship breakups, marriage failures, divorces, all of that sorts of thing. I actually have had a couple of people reach out to me, open up to me about their situations or whatever the case may be, as far as wanting to get a divorce and wanting to find something new, something more loving, something more wholesome to their lives. Um, Personally, I don't know. I do not encourage divorce unless it is absolutely necessary. I'm talking about things like abuse or something in that nature that you really have a hard time healing from or coming back from physical abuse, mental abuse, verbal, emotional abuse, things like that. And even then, I feel like that could be worked on. Not the physical part. No. If it's physical, get the hell up out of there. But I feel like anything can be worked on. It's all about taking accountability, willing to go to counseling for yourself, go to counseling with each other. You know, we all have a past. We all have past traumas. We all have a lot of issues within ourselves. And then sometimes it's easy for us to take that out on the person that is closest to us. Unfortunately, the people who we claim to love actually suffer. I'm not saying it's never healthy to stay in a relationship where you are having self-doubt or tearing yourself down or feeling worthless at all. But relationships are sometimes complicated, but they are what you make them. I feel like a lot of times people go into relationships for the wrong reasons, and everybody's in a rush to have somebody or to settle down, but it's like you have to make sure that you and this person are compatible to some capacity, or can get along, or can bring some type of balance to one another. You have to make sure that the person you're going to be with, like, you have to have discussions like about expectations. What do you expect from me? What do I expect from you in this relationship, to know if we can move forward? You have to learn how to cope in certain situations, to where this person is not, your partner is not in a good mood or being negative. It can oftentimes change the energy in the space or whatever, and create confusion between you two, when whatever they're frustrated about is not even about you guys, but instead of you going back at them with a negative response, you know, you have to find a more positive way to bring balance to the situation. Because if both of y'all are negative, then you're just gonna clash. If you mad because he mad, or you mad because she mad, it's like, you know, nobody's bringing peace to the situation. So we're gonna be bumping heads. I mean, you always wanna, somebody always has to be the bigger person, or try to bring peace to the situation. I mean, we're all human. Nobody's gonna be 100% on cloud 10 every day, you know. But you know, when you're just making sure you're able to agree with some things before you even choose to take it to the next level, get in a relationship with that person, cohabitate with that person, or even marry that person. Just so you will know, always keep, I mean, a lot of people, they open up to you they're serious about you, or if they like you and want to get to know you more, want you to get to know them more, they're going to tend to open up to you a lot more about past situations, and you never want to overlook past trauma or past irresponsibility, being a person being irresponsible with past relationships or themselves in past relationships. Like those things, you do not overlook those things. Those things are very important when choosing your partner. Red flags, and let's not overlook them. If you're telling me that, all the you've been in 5 relationships, and all 5 relationships the women were amazing, like so amazing, but you were the one that was the issue, like, look, hold on now, we're gonna have to make sure that you have faced these issues, you have went to counseling, you have done something to figure out what your issue is. Because how do I know now that you're ready for one if, all you're saying, none of the women were ever the problem, you were the issue in the relationship? Then what have you done different, or what have you changed that makes you think that you're ready to be serious, or, to not be the issue right now? So accountability, that is a big one in a relationship. Everybody has to be willing to be accountable. I remember being married, and it's easy to, I know when we went through our situations, I would always be looking at the situation like, oh, he this, and he treats me like that, and he didn't do this, or, he is this and that. It's easy to point the fingers, but once I divorced, I just was like, I feel like things would have been better had there been proper guidance. I feel like we were young, there was a lot of immaturity in the situation. There was not much accountability at all. The people around us were probably not giving the best advice, and just not really trying. So it was easy to let it go because there was no accountability. Nobody tried. And it was easy to settle for certain things because of being comfortable, feeling secure, and being comfortable with doing certain things. So I feel like we became very comfortable with being around each other. We could not get along, but we were comfortable. So that was not good for us nor the children. But I had to learn to take accountability for myself, for allowing myself to be in a situation, because nothing that happened in a relationship could have happened had I not allowed it. Or, I played my parts as well. There were things that I could have done. There were things that I liked within myself, my self-worth or my self-doubt, my self-insecurities, making me feel like I deserve this situation, or this is how it should be, like the love that I have for myself. And that I feel like there were things that I could have contributed that I did not, that I like thereof. So I feel like I have came to a point in my life where I am healed. It took me a long time to get to this point. When I was first going through a divorce, I was like, my friends started getting married left and right, and these were the same friends that would be giving all this, oh girl, you shouldn't deal with that, and you shouldn't deal with this. But they can be dealing with way more. You never know. And so you really have to sit down. Like if you and your partner, I feel like before divorce is the first solution. I feel like you should definitely get your space, most definitely. And then when everything cools down, y'all should come together and make a plan. Maybe y'all should go to counseling individually, like by yourselves, and figure out what's going on, what demons, what past traumas could be bothering you or affecting your mood or whatever the case may be, and learn how to cope with those things, because you have to be able to live with yourself and cope with yourself in order to have something with another person. You cannot love another person if you don't love yourself. You cannot be with nobody if you can't be with yourself. Like, people get out and they feel like if you go sleep under the next person, like, you got to always be up under somebody. You don't want to be in a relationship, but you always have to be up under somebody. Or you don't want to be in this relationship, but you feel like the way to get over it is to jump in this relationship or this situationship. No, that's not it. You have to be able to cope and deal with your own issues and live with yourself and be happy with yourself before you can be with another person. Because if you don't take care of all your own issues and you jump into a situation, you're just going to pour all of that onto the next person that you're dealing with, and so on and so forth. And you're always going to run into the same issue. Like, you cannot make the same moves and not fix anything, not make any changes within yourself and expect different results. It doesn't work like that. In order to reach a goal or do anything in life, you most definitely have to make some changes within yourself. If this didn't work out for me last year, I'm not going to keep doing this year, because I know the results from this. And if I want something different, then I'm going to do something different. Okay? So if you know how up and down the relationship was last year, or the marriage was last year, instead of like, okay, if I continue to play get back, or I continue to verbally abuse this person and tell them what they're not or what they're never going to be, maybe they'll finally get it together. Maybe they'll finally get themselves together and make me happy, or maybe da 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 da. No, that's not how it works. You have to take if you see the approach that you're taking in a situation is going to be the same, you're getting the same outcome, that means you need to be taking a different approach to that situation. There is nothing that you can do to make another individual change. You cannot make anybody do anything. You cannot feel like you can have sex and you can change a person, how they feel about you, how they think about you, how they treat you. You cannot go and get a body done and change the way a person feels about you. You can have all the degrees in the world and it won't change how a person feels about you or treats you. How people treat you is a choice. Do you understand me? And once a person treats you a certain way, that means once a person treats you poorly, they lose respect for you. That means they lost respect for you. And once that respect is gone, it's hard to get it back. But, so it's like, I don't know why people feel like going out and like, oh, I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna go be with, oh boy, until he get his mind right. No, it's not gonna work out in your favor. I'm sorry. But it's not. The old boy is over here that you're trying to get back on. He's gonna lose all respect for you, and it's not gonna be no good back. So the best thing to do when you're going through your ups and downs is to most definitely take a break. Don't badger anybody constantly. What's wrong? What's this? What's that? Or give a person time to miss you. Find something to do. Find a hobby. Find something you like. Get back to yourself. We know a lot of times we lose ourselves in relationships. We get consumed trying to make the next person feel happy or appreciate us, and doing everything to satisfy everybody else around us and make them happy, and we forget about ourselves and things that goals that we have for ourselves, or things that we should be doing and focused on. And I feel like if you find something to do and to focus on in the meantime, and work on getting yourself together, praying, becoming mentally healthy, physically healthy, and counseling, it works. Then maybe you should do that, and then try to figure out if there's a way that you can make it work with the other person before you go and resort straight to divorce. Now, however, it does take two. One person can't want it and the other person does not want it. I feel like that's the scariest thing about marriage nowadays, because nobody wants to fight for it anymore. Nobody wants to work for it. Everybody's just like, oh, I'm out. This happened, I'm out. That happened, I'm out. But it's not supposed to be like that. You chose to be with this person until death do you part. That's what it's supposed to be. So you just have to kind of figure your way through it. It's easy to give up, but guess what? When you get out of a situation and you go deal with another one, go get with somebody else, you're still going to deal with bull crap. You're still going to deal with something. Nothing is never going to be peaches and cream, okay? All the oxytocin and the hormones and everything that you feel for a person, that only lasts so long, okay? Then reality kicks in. Then, real life kicks in. So, you definitely, I feel like you should definitely work on things before letting them go. However, if you feel like you are the only person putting in effort and taking accountability, you have to move on, because you cannot force anybody to love you, to care about you, to treat you as you desire to be treated. You cannot change a person no matter what you do. You can change yourself. You can change yourself and make yourself happy. Self-doubt, you have to let those negative thoughts go out the window. I know a lot of times when things fail, we go to blaming ourselves or beating ourselves up. It's life, it happens. Nobody has all the answers to the things that we go through in life. So don't beat yourself up. It's called trial and error. We learn and we grow from going through situations. It's called wisdom. A lot of time our past traumas, like I feel like one of my things that I always had in my head was that, okay, growing up, I didn't really have a father in my life. And I'm like, had I had a father in my life, or had my father loved me enough to be in my life and to guide me properly, I feel like certain relationships or situations I would not have ended in, being in, had I had that proper guidance from my father or proper love from my father. But it's like I deal with situations and I became content in situations that I should not have, to fill a void, feel love, or feel secure, because I didn't have that love from places where I thought I should have had it from, or to give myself. And I had to learn to come from up out of that and let that hurt go, and I learned, once I learned how to cope with certain situations, then it was easier for me to accept the situation and move on, and not point the fingers and not put the blame on anybody else. But I just feel like it just really does something to me when a person says like, oh, I'm living, I left, I went through a divorce, because they just say it like, oh, we got married last week, oh, we getting divorced this week, it didn't work, whatever, I can get a man somewhere else, I can get a woman somewhere else, I can find a husband, da, 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 da. No, And you know what? Once you find someone who you are, once you find balance and connection, I feel like the rest can be worked on. A lot of people go into situations like, man, this person has to do 50-50. They have to make, if I make this certain amount of money, I need my partner to make this certain amount of money too. If I have these businesses or own these properties, I need my partner to be there with me and owning property and all of this and that. No. If you have two alpha people in the same room, who's going to be the leader? Who's going to be the leader? They're going to crash every time. You have to have someone leading and somebody bringing balance to the situations. For example, if I am horrible with budgeting money or whatever the case may be, I may get money, but I'm horrible with budgeting it. And I meet someone who is a potential partner, who is a financial advisor or an accountant or very frugal with their coins, very responsible. The man is going to bring great balance in my life. He's going to have me on my toes, like, look, and that's going to be great. Like, that's going to be a beautiful thing, so that I'm not spending recklessly. And, you know, they're bringing something into my life that can help me to grow, help me to become a better person, help me to do more things for myself and have more for myself, and not only myself but us for my kids. Connection, if we can connect, if there has to be a feeling, I have to be able to be myself, you have to be able to be yourself. If we can be transparent with each other and connect with each other without being judgmental and me being able to accept you, then we're going into it the right way, and we can be able to deal with each other. It will make it easier to deal with each other when we have our arguments or go through our ups and downs or whatever the case may be. The chemistry that can be built, you can learn to coexist with another person over time. You will learn, because you'll be around them, you'll pick up on a lot of their habits, things they like, things they don't like, and vice versa. You will have to make sure that your values are aligning with one another's before you even choose to get in a relationship, period. Because if the values don't align, then why are we doing this? You have to make sure you're on the same page. And don't go into it if the values don't align, or whatever you expect from this person does not align. Don't go into it and be like, okay, well, later on, maybe I can change that person's mind. No. We're not going with that. We're going with the now. The now. How you feel now? How do you view yourself in a relationship now? What is your outlook on life now? Okay? So I am going to say I just feel like everything, it's very rare that you're going to find a connection and balance with a person. So if you all went as far as getting into a relationship and choosing to get engaged and get married, that had to be hopefully something there. So if it's worth fighting for, don't be so quick to give up. I'm telling you, keep your business in your house and don't be listening to your single friends, not even your friends in a relationship or family. Because, honey, they will tell you, leave that situation, and they be putting up with way more than you. And they will tell you to leave a situation, and then they turn around and get in a situation and be putting up with more than you. Everybody goes through their ups and downs. But y'all have to be willing to be selfless, sacrifice, and find some common ground. Don't let your pride and ego get in the way. because it will destroy you every time. So I think later I will open up a little bit more about my story and how I got to the point where I have healed and I'm able to, express myself more when it comes to relationships or whatever the case may be. But good luck to all of the people going through hard times in their situations right now. Just be headstrong, keep your head up high, pray, 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 drink water, pray. Keep your business to yourself, because people will cloud your mind with negative thoughts, negative energy. Do not allow that stuff in your space, okay? Because it will lead you down a bad road every time. I'm telling you, the only person that can fix your relationship is you and the person that you're in it with and God. That's it. That's all. Alrighty, guys. Later. Until next time.